Alrighty guys, we're back for some Red Riding Gruul, and this is a Wilds of Eldraine Early Access Standard Brew. We're going to go over the deck, then hop into some games, but first things first, for anyone who may not know, I'm Red Cat and I play aggro decks and any decks with red in them as well, so I hope that sounds fun to ya. Also, we do got that Discord link as well as that relatively new Patreon link down in the description if you're interested in joining either of those up. Okay, what do we got packed into the build here? Ruby Daring Tracker is a 2-mana 1/2 legendary creature, human scout. It has haste, and whenever Ruby Daring Tracker attacks while you control a creature with power 4 or greater, Ruby gets +2/+2 until end of turn. Not bad. Also has this bottom ability though that kind of sets it over the top. You can tap this to add a red or a green source, and since it has haste, you can play this on 2 and keep open one of your 1-drops like Royal Treatment here. It's a 1-mana instant speed. Target creature you control gains hexproof until end of turn. Create a Royal Roll token attached to that creature. So what is the Royal Roll token? Well, it's an aura. An enchanted creature gets +1/+1 and has Ward 1 as well, which is kind of insane, right? So what's really cool about that is since it's like a token enchantment aura or whatever, it helps with like modified abilities. So we have all 4 Thundering Raiju on the top end, which of course when it attacks on in, it deals X damage to each opponent, where X is the number of modified creatures you control other than Thundering Raiju. You also get to slap that +1/+1 counter on something, maybe helping you get a creature above a power 4 or greater for the Ruby ability as well, which could be really cool. Now Ruby works with all of our other 1-drops in here too, right? Where you can immediately tap Ruby down on 2 and maybe play like a Kumano faces Kakkazan out on the same turn, which could be pretty cool. Maybe you already played Kumano number 1 on turn 1, slammed down Ruby on turn 2, now it's a 2/3 already with a counter. Tap this, play Kumano number 2. That seems relatively decent, man. That seems like a solid line of play. Other 1-drops that work well with Ruby, we have 3 Monstrous Rage in here, dude. Yes, finally getting to check out this card. It's a 1-mana instant speed. Target creature gets +2/+0 until end of turn. Create a monster roll token attached to it, which is an aura roll. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1 and has trample. This card looks nasty, dude. So it's essentially 1 mana at instant speed, giving something a +3/+1 and trample, and then that +1/+1 with trample sticks around for a while longer, and of course, again, since it's an aura, helps us with like the modified abilities, dude. Keep your eye on Monstrous Rage. Looks disgusting, huh? We got 3 Play With Fires in here. You know, a little bit of spot removal definitely doesn't hurt anything, and smacking the opponent's face definitely doesn't hurt anything either. Charming Scoundrel, 2 mana 1/1 with haste. When it enters the battlefield, you get to choose one of these abilities. You can either discard a card, then draw a card, or create a treasure token, or create a Wicked Roll token attached to target creature you control. Again, the Wicked Roll is an aura, so it helps with modified. But what does this do? Well, it gives a +1/+1 to enchanted creature, but then also when this aura is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, each opponent loses 2 life. Nice, very solid, I love it. Got 3 Feldons in here, obviously very powerful card. Also, a single Hajar, Loyal Bodyguard. While we really have a haste theme going on here, there's a lot of legendaries packed in, so I think it's going to be interesting as a one-of. We don't get to see it too often, so it's a 2-mana Rock and Gruul colors. It's a legendary creature, it's a 3/3. You can sacrifice it to have legendary creatures you control get +1/+0 and gain indestructible until end of turn. So yeah, could be an interesting one. Onwards to the 3-drops, guys. We got a couple Squee, powerful, just hasty creature, right? We got 3 Samuts, Vizier of Naktamun. No idea if I pronounced any of that right, but either way, it's a 3-mana 2/3 first strike vigilance haste. Wow. But it's really in here for this bottom ability. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, if that creature entered the battlefield this turn, so like all of our creatures in other words, draw a card. Yep, this is the main card draw of the deck, or realistically like the only card draw of the deck, right? Guess you can kind of sort of count Feldon in that group, helps you see more off the top too, but yeah, I think it's going to be really solid in here. Speaking of really solid, dude, I'll tell you what, a lot of powerful red cards coming out of this new set, man. Goddric, Cloaked, Reveler. It's a 3-mana, 3/3, rocking that haste. It is a legendary creature. Has Celebration. So as long as 2 or more non-land permanents entered the battlefield under your control this turn, Goddric is a dragon with base power and toughness 4/4 flying, and it has, for 1 mana, dragons you control get +1/+0 until end of turn. Pretty sick, man. Now, we don't have other dragons packed in here, but that doesn't matter, dude. It's going to be really easy to have this just be a 4/4 hasty dragon, and yeah, it really is as simple as just playing Kumano on turn 1, and then it flips into etching on turn 3, and then you can play your Goddric from your hand as a nice hasty 4/4 already, dude. So yeah, I think it's going to be solid. Kind of sort of already talked about the Raiju. Is that everything already? My goodness, guys, look at us go. No honorable mentions today. There's just like, honestly, I'm a little bit overwhelmed. There's too much that we can pack into every build, or like too many different variations of each build that we could possibly do. So what I'm trying to do during this early access event is just pack the decks with as many new cards as possible. And I guess overall this one doesn't have too many new cards, but it definitely has some. So okay, Rockfall Vale, a Karplusan Forest, and the Copperline Gorge, all of them, because I think the mana base is going to be a little greedy sometimes, especially with these 2-mana Gruul cards, and then actually trying to spam out some 1-drops on the right colors too, right? We got double red in Goddric, double red in Thundering Raiju, the Gruul colors in Samut as well here. So yeah, all the dual land going to be probably necessary. And then obviously Who Endures, Crucible of Defiance, heavily leaning towards red, because that's what the deck is heavily leaning towards. Okay, guys, let's go ahead, hop into some games, and see how we do. All right, we'll see if we can get right into that first game. Sometimes it takes a little while in the early access, sometimes it doesn't. I'll tell you what, yeah, there we go. Less than 15 seconds, not too bad. Maybe we can have another unedited video here, which could be pretty cool. Okay, Rockfall Vale's a little bit slow here. Yeah, more than a little bit slow, it's very slow. But should I complain too much? Everything else looks fine. We go first. Alright, we'll give it a shot, because there's a chance of seeing an untapped land off the top, which means turn 2 Ruby into the Kumano right away, which could be really good. Or depending on what colors the opponent's playing, we could keep the Ruby open with a Royal Treatment as well. Cascade. Hey, there's the untap. I say we go fast and get that Kumano down. That way the Vizier of Naktamun. Naktamun. I have no idea, man. Pronounce it 10 different times by the end of the video, I suppose. Rockfall Vale, they use the Beanstalk Worm. Nice. Ooh, Goddric. I mean, could keep Ruby for the Monstrous Rage open. Royal Treatment, just in case there's... I guess we'll keep Ruby instead of swinging. We'll draw. Yeah, I feel like keeping Ruby open to play something. There's another Royal Treatment. See, that's pretty good. Alright. Now, Kumano flips next turn. We can play the Goddric. 4 mana open for the opponent. Questing Druid, okay. Might play the Royal Treatment just for the fun of it, honestly, for the turn. Maybe buff up that Ruby a little. Actually, buffing this up to a 4 power will give this a +2/+2 when we swing in, so that could be good. Actually, I think I'm going to do that. Oh, Goddric's going to be a 4 too, though. This is fine. This is fine. I'm just going to go for more damage here, and the ward as well, so. Maximum damage. Go, 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 go. We still have Monstrous Rage. Nah, this is worth it. Dude, look at how crazy this is. Playing out exactly how I would have wanted it to play out. And see, now we don't have either of our 1-mana cards open, though, so they chump the Ruby. We're drawing twice here off the Etching and the Goddric, because they just entered, right? Open our hand nice and stocked. Now we have the Royal Treatment and the Monstrous Rage open. Oh my goodness, dude. And the Feldon is terrific to see here. A board wipe would be awful, I guess. Beanstalk Worm. Alright, I guess we just take it into our turn, drop the Feldon. We'll play Monstrous Rage on, like, Ruby, that's fine. Alright, full swing. GG opponent. I think, at least, yes. Ruby has Trample. Yeah, GG. Wow. Really just, really fast. Not a lot of removal from the opponent, so we were able to pop off easily, right? Against a deck with more spot removal, that would have been a much slower game, but since we were drawing so much off of the Samut there, I don't know, man. I think we just had a really good lineup in general. More testing required, of course, right? Can we get right into that second game? We'll find out, huh? If it ever takes like too long, then these early access videos will be edited. I already edited the first video that I put up, which was Food Fight Mono Red. That was a fun deck. We didn't get any victories with it, unfortunately, but still a really neat one. 25 seconds. Not too bad, huh? Like I said, it depends how the rest of the games go. If we have like any games that take like 2 minutes to find a game, or 1 minute realistically is way too long, huh? But okay, we go first. Yes, we try this for sure, right? Because we have Ruby, and then we can use Ruby to ramp into our 3, but we'll probably find our third mana. We have 23 total in here, I believe. So we have a couple turns to find the third before we actually need to play one of our 3 drops with the Ruby, so. Spiteful Hexmage, so that should be a 1/1 for the turn. Because they cursed it. Okay, cool. There's our mana. Keep the Who Endures in hand for now and drop that Ruby. Technically, Monstrous Rage doesn't do too much to like protect it or anything. We can't like swing then tap it for mana, obviously, unless it had Vigilance, which would be pretty broken. We go for the swing to get 1 damage through then. Totally fine, totally fine. So the opponent probably has ways to get rid of that curse then on this Hexmage. Look at the cursed roll, how it has a little frog on it. That's nice. I love all the artwork from the new set, dude. Torch the tower? Oh, and then just instantly bargain that away. Dude, nice. Very nice. Wow, that was easy, huh? So that's a 1 mana 3/2 right now then, based on the Torch the Tower. We're gonna go for the draw on the Vizier. Vigilance First Strike is really good, blocks the Hexmage well. But we can't like... Oh, it's Grixis too. Oh, it's dead, dude. There's no way this creature survives against Grixis. Half their deck is probably spot removal. Ooh! Well, there I go. There I go saying no way it survives, and here we are. I guess no more spot removal in their hand, huh? Thundering Raiju's great. We probably just power up the Raiju, though, if we do that. Outside of that, we could go Goddric, go Monstrous Rage on the Samut, which, oh man, that's really good too, isn't it? That's what I'm going to do. Goddric, Monstrous Rage. Jeez, bro. Oh my goodness. There's big things happening with these creatures, man. They end up going for the block here to take a little bit less damage. Taking 3 through, down to 9, drawing a card off the Goddric because it just entered. Holy cow, man. So far, this Gruul list is going fast. Raids comes down. I guess the Thundering Raiju. Thundering Raiju probably gets us there pretty well, huh? Decline. Although, Goddric will be on the ground if we don't play multiple things, so... It doesn't have to be the Raiju, right? If we play multiple things, get 4 in the air. Samut? Something has trample still too, but probably the block there. Alright, so it's going to be everything else, right? So Monstrous Rage, we'll put that on the Feldon, so it gets over the Braids. We'll play the Kumano as well for the turn, get them down to 7, and full swing. It's 4 in the air, down to 3, and just 1 blocker on the board, so GG opponent. Wow. Wow, dude. Okay, onwards to the next one, huh? We're only 15 minutes into the video. Feeling good so far, man. Let's keep this. We go first again. No Ruby in hand again, but this is totally a fine hand. Start with the red source. Charming Scoundrel. Probably coming down with a wicked roll, but it depends what we see off the top too. You never know. Ooh, we gonna see some rats? Maybe. Get that swing, very nice. Royal Treatment, nice. So, see, we could go Treasure, keep Royal Treatment open, but it's probably not worth it. Go for a bigger swing here, I would say. And the Wicked roll is pretty decent too, if the Scoundrel ever dies. Since we have 3 mana too, like, yeah. Just go for that hasty swing. That's what I was getting at there. I completely lost my train of thought, man. Hey, there's Ruby. Okay. Well, the good news is this First Strike Vigilance Haste is just absolutely disgusting on so many levels, and if they block the Charming Scoundrel, then we draw off of this too, so yep, it's this. It's this. And then they lose a life off the Scoundrel too. They might even just take the 4, depending on what they're trying to set up for here. So the trade, they take an extra 1, and then we end up drawing a card. Oh, they go for the chump, maybe? No, they end up taking it, so they are going to try to set up for a turn. Mano's great. Grand Ball Guest gets +1/+1 and has trample as long as there are 2 or more non-land permanents entered the battlefield under your control this turn. Okay, so it's potentially a 2-mana 3/3 if you're spamming enough onto the board, which makes sense for like a rat deck. So they're probably going to be trying to just, yeah, spam out a bunch of rats, huh? At this point with this hand and like the Monstrous Rage and everything, like they need spot removal, man, before we untap, because then the Royal Treatment's going to be a problem for them. Not too much spot removal from any of the opponents right now. They get that 3. Yep, we're going to take that. And down to 15, it was good damage. Squee's pretty good. Still successfully full swing here. This can't block. But it could also just be Ruby. Ruby can full swing and still have treatment and Monstrous Rage available. If we go Monstrous Rage before the swing, Ruby gets a buff too. I like that. I like that. Like, relying... Ooh, careful with Auto Tapper. We'll let them block the Scoundrel if they really want to here. And then when we go for the swing, it gets +2/+2. Look at this, dude. Wow. And yeah, these rat tokens can't block. And they'll get another rat token if they chump with that. But now we have trample on the Samut. I'm running out of ways to pronounce this name. Some chump blocks here would be pretty good. And maybe like a trade into the Scoundrel and have them... And yeah, they'll lose 1 with the Wicked roll. They're going to chump the Ruby. See, not having Royal Treatment open might be a little bit sketchy, but at the same time, I'm okay with like riskier plays like this, especially when they're that cool too. I feel like that was just a really cool turn, getting the Ruby to get that buff too. Ooh, taking big damage here. Now we don't get the draw because Ruby just entered, so that was a good chump from the opponent there. They get a counter because a creature died. Whenever another creature you control dies, Put a +1/+1 counter on Voracious Vermin. Cool. Okay. Yeah, hopefully we're getting enough on the board next turn to not have to worry too much about their rat hordes, right? Only one black source on the opponent's board right now. I have to wonder if they're getting unlucky and they might have more cards that require swamps to be able to do like multiple things on the same turn sometimes or something, you know? It could be a budget rat, a budget rat build. Words have been a struggle for me today for some reason, guys. I apologize. But yeah, that could be pretty cool. You gotta love budget lists. Okay, second Kumano. Yeah, that's gross, huh? They still can't block with these rats. But they didn't want to swing or anything because, yeah, the vigilance on this, so... Alright, keep Kumano / the Royal Treatment back. Get that Squee down, full swing. And if they have spot removal, Royal Treatment's open. If they don't, we probably play a Kumano for the turn, get extra damage through. It'd be like a Crucible of Defiance. You know what we could have done? We could have kept Ruby back, too. To be able to do 2 of these things. Or be able to play 2 Kumanos or something. So that's something to consider for sure. Oh, she doesn't get the +2/+2. That was only last turn. Because this is only 3 power now. That should be fine, though. We should be okay. I think a full swing was still worth it, hopefully. But yes, if anything there, the Ruby needed to be held back so we could do 2 things from our hand. Really depends, man. Like a go for the throat on the Vizier, and then we go Royal Treatment on it. They'd have to double down, maybe like a Lightning Strike or something. Yeah, the rat tokens not able to block is a little bit rough. Look at how cute they are, though. Oh my goodness. Yeah, someone, this is my second time looking at the rat token. Somebody dropped it over in the Discord, too. It's so adorable, man. Oh, got a little berry. Standing on bread. Okay, there's the blocks. Charming Scoundrel. That's going to be an extra damage going through from the Wicked token. We could save Squee, but nah. We're just going to play Kumano for the turn. Especially since... Well, it depends. What's this now? Oh. So they're not trading. This goes up to 3. So now we could trade with a Royal Treatment. Or we could get an extra damage through there, too. I think it's just Kumano, though, right? I think so. Man. Okay. Well, I wonder why they targeted the Scoundrel just to keep the Vermin on the board, I guess, right? Down to 2. We draw 1 off of this. Wicked Roll. Oh, Wicked Roll brings them down to 1 since that's the one that they blocked there. So Kumano wraps it up. GG opponent, man. I love to see the rats for sure. Yeah, the Charming Scoundrel's Wicked Roll was... I knew the -1 was going to happen, but I wasn't calculating it into the fact that, you know, that it was going to die that turn. So, cool, man. Very cool. 24 minutes in. I don't know how many games we actually played right now. I think we played 3, 4, 3? I don't know. They're going so fast, man. They're going so fast. Yeah, I love all the opponent's decks today so far. Like, everyone's bringing just a ton of fun to the table. This is a good time. If this is what Standard looks like after the set releases, I would not, like, I wouldn't complain one bit. I'd be very satisfied. And not just from, like, the decks in this video, from all the videos I put together from Early Access so far. Very satisfied with everyone's lists. It's a good hand, dude. Okay. Ooh, Kumano was a good draw. Spell Pierce? That would be funny. Oh, Spell Pierce! You monster opponent. Alright, alright. Yavimaya Coast. Well, it's gonna be... Ooh, Taxidermist. Okay, that's one we don't get to see too often. Feldon over Scoundrel. Scoundrel for treasure. Make sure we have 3. If we see a mana, we have turn 3 Raiju. Feldon. Feldon's fine. Feldon is fine and dandy. If we go Scoundrel into treasure, it can't swing, and it's just like a 1-1 awkwardly chilling on the board. As good as that ramp could be, if we had the 3rd in hand already, then that's what I would go for, right? Taxidermist using the cut down. We might want to deal with the Taxidermist with one of our Play with Fires, but it's gonna really depend what we see in hand here. Ooh, Urborg Lurgoyf. That could be a problem. Power is equal to the number of creature cards in your graveyard, and its toughness is equal to that number plus 1. We just like double down on Play with Fire. Oh, Likeness Looter. Okay. Just gonna go Feldon again. Opponent, I promise I have new cards in here, man. I promise. Just 1 second. Give me 1 second, buddy. I'll play some new ones. Another mana off the top would be really good, I would say. Dude, tell you what, dude, that Spell Pierce on that Kumano was really worth it for the opponent. Tyvar Jubilant Brawler. Okay. A lot of cards we don't get to see too often. A Likeness Looter there. You return a creature card with mana value 2 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Okay. There's a mana. That's good. That is excellent. So we could think about ramping into that Raiju now if we wanted to. Some good swings. We could full swing. They got an island there. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to generate that treasure to make sure we have the Raiju next turn, even if we don't see the land. And if we do see a land, we have an extra treasure to play with fire next turn as well. Outside of that, we're going to be full swinging at the Tyvar. So, okay, so see, now we have Play with Fire open. Actually, both of them, technically. Full swing. They let this happen. Unless they want to trade with the Scoundrel, which would not be a bad thing for us. The Urborg gets a buff when the Likeness Looter hits. Becomes a copy of target creature. Okay, they do end up trading. Totally fine, dude. Totally fine. Actually, we'll hit the Urborg Lurgoyf. Boy, that's hard to say. I mean, come on, man. I've already been struggling with words. We'll hit that before it gets buffed, right? And then we got the 2 going through. Nice. And we still have this Play with Fire open too. Do we want to hit the Taxidermist? Maybe. They have 2 cards remaining. Alright. I made up my mind. We don't want it to get to a 4-4, guys. And they're really close. They're 1 creature away from getting it to a 4-4. Also, it's helping them. They don't have a black source on the board, so target player mills 4. Hey, Squee! Nice, good hit. Alright, we're gonna go Goddric for the turn. Yeah, so taking Taxidermist out was probably for the best, using up that treasure. Ruby. And we'll get Goddric to a dragon. Look at that. I love the little... I just now noticed the animation there. Oh! GG opponent. Yeah, the little celebration animation. That's adorable. Yeah, GG, buddy. Wow. Okay. Yeah, they got a little unlucky, though. They didn't actually have all 3 of their colors on the board. They were rocking a Sultai, like, graveyard build, and they didn't have any black sources, so... Okay. MTG Malone again. Well, howdy. I wonder if they're still playing fairies. Ooh, okay. We're gonna give it a shot, man. And we are gonna go into the Copperline Gorge, make sure the Play with Fire is available. It looks like they might still be playing fairies, perhaps. Don't know if I want to see more mana right now. Doesn't seem like the best. Instead of the ruby, based on this hand, we are going to go Hajar here. It gets around a cut down, so yeah, just having a 2-drop 3/3, not half bad, dude. Second swamp, maybe some mono black, huh? Maybe, oh, more mana. That's not good, guys. That's really not good. It's 5 mana total. We don't need any more mana for the rest of this game, for sure. Removal for the Hajar. If it's like go for the throat, we have Royal Treatment ready. Sheoldred's Edict gets around the Royal Treatment. Okay. Well, at that point, we might as well activate the Hajar's ability, right? Alright, we'll go for the swing because we still have a mana open. We are really, really hoping to see something that's not mana off the top. There's their third. Okay, -3/-3, gain 2. Let's see if they have a cut down on top of this. Okay, Ruby's alive for a turn, guys. 4th mana. Feldon's decent. Going for that swing. I don't know about this one, man. We're starting to fizzle out already. It just doesn't feel like we have a lot going on here. That's a 1/1 for now. Still have 2 mana available. Ruby has Ward, so Feldon would be the target for like a go for the throat. Honestly though, might just be... Oh! And instantly get that to 3/2. So Candy Grapple has Bargain. Very nice. Uh-oh, more land. Uh-oh, guys. Uh-oh. That's not good. That's really, really not good. 6 mana total. Urborg Scavengers. Nice. I wonder what else they have in here to hit with the Scavengers. Yeah, give it haste. Why not, right? Oh. Oh. No, they have that 3/3 now, though. We can't successfully swing into that because of the Vigilance. So first strike, Vigilance, haste. If it had... No, yep, nothing we could do about that. Uh-oh, guys, we're in trouble. Beseech the Mirror. I wonder... No, they can't bargain. They don't have anything to bargain. So it's going into their hand. Probably like a Sheoldred, right? Oh, I guess they could grab anything. Oh, no. More mana, guys. I can't successfully swing here. That's not good. That's not good. 7 mana. We have 23 total in here, so... Ooh, the new Ashiok. Ooh, going right for the Nightmares. Cool. Kumano, let's go. It's a card. And it hits the Ashiok for 1 too, so... Down to 12. No successful swings, right? Not while the Urborg is holding us up here. I keep double checking that, like, to make sure, but if we can find a card that buffs the Samut, then the top 2 cards for your library, exile 1 of them. I'll put the... Oh. Exile 1 of them and put the other into your hand. One did they exile over here? They exiled a Beseech, the Mirror. Picking something up with the Scavengers. They're finally feeling safe enough to start swinging here, which I think is the right call. And I think they waited the right amount of turns here. So if we double block, there's no guarantee that there's not spot removal, so we're just going to hold back. It's a chance to see more off the top. Yeah, we really fizzled out in this game, huh? Another Kumano. Hey, it's not land, so I'm not complaining, huh? If we full swing, it blocks for days, man. Blocks for days. I think we're gonna hold back for the turn. I think so. Like, we could have swung, kept the Kumano in hand till after combat. But if we swing, they double block the Samut here for sure. No, first strike. They'd have to triple block it. Wait, should I have swung with that? Should I have? Down to 16, they're gonna get more +1/+1 counters. I think we're held up regardless, but there's probably a more optimized way I could be playing this out. I'm sorry, MTG Malone. I could have been giving you a little bit of a better game here, huh? Alright, we'll sacrifice the ruby. So if we full swung, they still could have done that. I guess, yeah, like a triple block could have happened easily then. We would have taken out the Hex Mage first, and then these two Nightmares would have taken out the Vizier. Right, so I think we're dead regardless here. Kumano flips next turn. Oh, these didn't get counters, so at the beginning of combat, if a card was put into exile, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. So I wonder if Urborg Scavengers is right alongside the Graveyard Trespassers too, just looking for more ways to exile stuff in general. Ashiok number 2. Oh my goodness, man. Exile one of them. Dude, Ashiok looks solid. With these Nightmare tokens, I like it. Really cool. They get a rat from the Lord Skitter here. Oh, they didn't swing. I wonder why. Is it because they ended up tapping down the Nightmares? Or I would have kept more in hand. If I would have kept some land back, we could have filtered out there a little bit. Yeah, I wonder why they didn't swing there. At this point, we'll go Wicked Roll. And honestly, dude, on the... That's really funny, man. Really funny. We can't get over the Urborg, unfortunately, is the biggest issue now, again. I'm thinking the opponent is ready to full swing here soon. What a wild deck, dude. This is crazy. A lot of new cards that, while I did read over all the new cards from the set, it takes a while for me. Like, I need to play against the cards. They hold back everything again. South, target card from the graveyard. When a creature card is exiled this way, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. So, Who Endures is interesting. You can successfully swing in, though, opponent. There's not a lot of worries here, I would say. They got great blocks. They can't block with these, right? So we go no attacks again. I guess they're waiting to build up more, just more on the board. But with 5 cards in hand and everything, we could go Who Endures on the Cauldron. I'm not really concerned about it. I'd rather filter this out for a more aggressive card, just in case they do. See, that's the thing, right? If they full swing and we can take the damage, then there's a possibility of me just blitzing through 11 through, because we don't know what's in their hand, so maybe they don't have any spot removal or anything, right? At this point, though, 2 5/5s, a lot of rats. They go for the swing on the Urborg Scavengers. Okay, it's going up to 5. Do we double block? Do we triple block? We could. Oh! I just clicked through it! On accident! Oops. I mean, either way, it's like I've been saying, I'm pretty sure this is the opponent's. But I just misclicked. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, I'm just keeping the Who Endures back. Maybe there's like a more important thing to take out outside of the Soul Cauldron. Very cool deck from the opponent. I love that they're playing the Lord Skitter as well there too. Raiju. Alright, we're just going for the full swing, dude. We're going. Why not, man? We actually, and this is a great reason as to why they held back for so many turns, right? So while I'm super greedy with my swings often, I think it was actually a better decision for them to hold back for a couple turns until they actually established something, because they could afford the late game where we couldn't. So it makes a lot of sense. We're going! Go, 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 go! Get this above the nothing. We're just going wide here. Because it's 3 damage to their face. Oh, they did end up having spot removal. Oh, the end. Oh, they tapped down some of their creatures too there, though. Since this has Vigilance too, maybe I should have been swinging with it a lot more and just letting them double block it wherever they could, or triple block it wherever they could, right? Okie dokies. Well, maybe with all these tapped down abilities with the Cauldron, maybe I should have taken the Cauldron out so that way the Who Endures. Yeah. The Who Endures would have done something and then they wouldn't have been able to cast the end if I would have done that last turn, right? Either way, though, hey, good game, opponent. Very cool deck, very scary looking deck, honestly, and I love that they just stacked it with new cards, man. -7. Well then. Well then. That's fun. More rats. It's so cool, dude. It's so cool. Was there a chance somewhere in that game? Yes, but after like the 5th turn or so, no. like we drew too much land early on, but even then, even if we did end up getting a lot done in the proper order, I don't know if there would have been a successful way through, just based on what they were playing there, right? All right, we go first. Good hand, good lineup. 4 mana makes me a little nervous now after the last game. Let's do this. Go, 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 go. Yeah, dude, this is like a solid 1-2-3 that I would not be surprised at all if this is like a basic 1-2-3 for a new mono red in standard. Also got the Squee, but it's definitely Goddric, dude. It's definitely Goddric. Goldhound. Another Goddric, wow. Well, we're going. We don't know what that one card is. It could be a cut down for the etching. Ooh, they're taking it down to 7, dude. I wonder if a Brotherhood's End is going to hit this board. I guess at that point they'd want to use the Goldhound. Oh, second Goldhound. Yeah, Squee's going to be nasty here. And a Kumano at that, so we might as well play that first, too. Jeez, bro. Goddric going in the air again. But this actually could be spot removal this time, since they have 2 open. They have 3 open, actually. Goldhound can block the 1-1. They can chump Feldon, but we'll see one off the top. They wanted to make sure to take less. Oh, no spot removal for Goddric here. Oh, well, GG. Wow, if it was go for the throat, they would have been at 2. Yeah, go for the throat for the Goddric. Jeez, bro, when the deck goes, it goes, man. Holy cow. Oh my goodness. Well, I guess we'll end on a high note, huh? I have a thing or two to say about the build, so I probably should say those few things, right? Okay, so here's the deck list again. Once again, the in-between matches may or may not be edited out, or like some of them might be edited, others might not be. If they took longer than like 30 seconds, then they'll probably most definitely be edited, but either way, it really depends on what I'm talking about in those in-betweens too. So I'll go in and I'll check that out and make sure I'm not wasting anybody's time. But as always feel free to skip around the videos, skip ahead to the next matches. We have, in the description, we have timestamps, and down at the bottom of the video, there's chapters that you can see as well. Always feel free to skip ahead or skip ahead to the final thoughts, because generally speaking, the final thoughts are very important for the build. So yeah, here's the deck list again. I totally think it did a thing today. Now, take it with a grain of salt. It's an early access event, and I always say I highly recommend not crafting anything from the early access events, right? When the set actually releases, I don't think this is what Standard is actually going to look like. Now, it might be. You never know, but generally speaking, it takes a little bit for the meta to settle, and so, I mean, Goddric here is a rare. That's a new rare, right? No, Ruby's relatively. Actually, a lot of the new cards in this set, or yeah, in this deck in particular, are budget. Oh, Charming Scoundrels are rare too, though, unfortunately. But speaking of Charming Scoundrel, very good card. Love it. Very good. Goddric, excellent. Wow. Wow. Monstrous Rage was good when it came into play. Didn't get to see it too much. Royal Treatment was good again. Now, the big question is, do we really want this over like a Tamiyo Safekeeping that also gives Indestructible? In a deck like this that also runs like the modified theme on the top end with Raiju, yes, I believe so. I think that +1/+1 and the ward one is excellent. So, yeah, I think this is just a really good card in general. Kumano obviously did a thing today, along with all of the other just terrific stuff that we usually see in like mono red or whatever. But yeah, Ruby, pretty good. I like it. I like the ramp with it. I like the ability. How easy was that to pop off, huh? Give it +2/+2, relatively easy, especially with like the Monstrous Rage and everything packed in here too. The Samut Vizier of Naktamun. Good. I like it. I like it. Now, we had a little bit of a struggle getting it over our opponent's creatures in the mono black matchup against MTG Malone. Again, I'm sorry I couldn't put up more of a fight that game. I hope they still enjoyed the match though. Either way, I still think it's worth the 3 of for sure. Like the First Strike Vigilance Haste, like just having 3 keywords is so gross already. It's also the only card draw in the deck too, so yeah, it's probably necessary at the 3 of. I like the double squeeze. I could see obviously rearranging some of the numbers here a little bit. Like, is 2 squeeze actually necessary for the build? Yeah, it works well with the Goddric and everything, works well with the haste with the Samut, but is it really? Like, we could go down to 1 potentially, go up more like removal or something. That could help the deck out a little bit, right? And generally speaking, I don't play with enough removal. So yeah, that could be something to consider. Outside of that, I think more testing is required because I'm pretty sure we actually had a positive win rate today. I feel like we won a ton, but we went so fast that a lot of the matches are a blur. So that's just one of those things I'll have to go back in and watch some of the games. So either way, guys, hey, enough rambling. If you made it this far into the video, y'all are champions for real. I super duper appreciate you, and I will see you in the next video.